to give us a speech titled Everything I Learned About Leadership. I learned from my kittens. So thanks for that for stepping up just 30 minutes before the meeting started to fill the second speaker spot. And if for the people who followed that on her Instagram or Facebook, you know that she saved 2 cats. So that's a way to show kindness, not just to the people, but also to the animals. And that will be talking about everything she learned about leadership. And also she learned from her kittens. Raising kittens has been awesome for her. And she's so glad to share the top things she learned and how they relate to leadership. Welcome, Beth.
Thank you. Now, the story is this. On July 2nd, my husband and I decided that we were going to get a dog. We had been trying to convince ourselves to get a dog for a very long time. And we always said like, oh, it's so much work, but it's like so much fun. And we love going for hikes and walking. And the reason why we wanted a dog is we could have a little walk with our dog every day. The next day after we made the decision, we found our 2 kittens in a bush. And our plans drastically changed. And so we had to figure out, how do we get kittens to walk? So as a leader, we have to have a big dream, like a big vision. Like we're going to do something amazing. But the first lesson we learned is you have to meet your followers where they are. And I can tell you, kittens do not like walking on leashes. So we had a big plan. We bought leashes online and we started, like this, first of all, is huge for our baby kittens. But we let them get to know it, get to smell it, and just sort of get familiar with the actual device. Next, as soon as they were able to not be so tiny that they would just slip out of it, we actually started putting it on them. And this is kind of where step 2 comes in, which is giving and getting feedback. Let me tell you, they did not like wearing this leash. They would just flop over and be like, ah! And they thought they couldn't move, but gently, we let them get used to it. And that brings us to step 3. Is slightly pushing the comfort zone of your follower as they get more confident, as they get more skills. They first had to learn how to get comfortable in the leash itself. And we would just put it on them every day for maybe 10 minutes or less. And they would slowly start playing and like, oh, I can move in this. Next, we had to bring them outside. And we would bring them outside and let them start getting used to the car noises, people walking by. They would be like so afraid. But every day for the last 3 months, we've been slightly pushing them out of their comfort zone or pushing the comfort zone line gently. But at the same time, getting feedback, they would run back inside. They would get all scared. Their little bodies would be like little knots. And we just gently kept doing it. And last night, we were able to walk our entire loop that we normally walk by my husband and I alone. We were able to carry the kittens in our arms, which I know is not walking, but they were getting used to the smells. Cats are very sensory with their noses. And actually, it's almost like what we do with our eyes. Their sense of smell is that important to them. So getting used to the smells along the route is actually really, really important. So I want to tell you what happened last night, which to me is just the biggest, most wonderful thing. Last night we carried them all the way around, and there was a guy raking across the street, and he was making a lot of noise as he was raking. And boy, did the kittens not like that at all. They wanted to get down, and they wanted to look for a place to hide, and they were looking, and we were like, no, everything's okay. Everything's okay. I think it's really important to like give a lot of encouragement, getting feedback, listening to what they want, and then also just gently like, everything's okay. We're going to be all right. So we actually made it up to the top of the hill. We live at the bottom of the hill, and then we let them down a little bit more, and they like, maybe everything's okay. And then on the way back on the loop, my little Hansel, the boy kitten, he wanted to really badly get down. I'm like, okay, I let him down, and I'm holding the leash, and he actually started walking along, because normally, like, I know dogs love to stop and smell everything, but my kitten actually, after he smelled a few things, he actually walked. And I was holding the leash and he was just walking next to me like a real dog. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean like a cat that knows how to walk. It was this amazing breakthrough. And my husband and I were both shocked. My little Gretel kitten, my girl kitten, she was not ready for that yet. But Hansel was, and that was a huge breakthrough. And it made me feel so special and so happy. And I was like, wow, maybe I can actually like apply leadership skills to my kittens, or is it the other way around? Am I learning how to lead from my kittens? So again, I just want to let you, like, I kind of try to architect, like, what are the things I'm learning? You got to meet the kittens where they are. Like, they did not feel comfortable with getting into that leash in the beginning. And it took time. It took a lot of time. And we were very patient, very, very patient. And then you have to get in and give feedback, like telling them everything is okay and listening, like, okay, they're done with the leash training for today. Let's let them have a break, right? Getting feedback and giving feedback. It's just so critical as we move forward towards the big goal. And then finally, slowly just inching the comfort zone as they get more confident. And as like, oh, I can walk in this thing. It's not stopping me from walking. Like, okay, let's go outside in it, right? Just like inching that comfort zone little by little. So I'm really excited that I got to share my story today, and I hope it's useful, but it's extremely entertaining for me. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you for sharing those